A few years ago, in the early days of the channel, I was all about contact missions and survivals. I did a few survival videos because I've always loved the survival mode in Grand Theft Auto Online. Unfortunately, over the past several years, Rockstar has neglected survivals. But this week in Grand Theft Auto Online, I guess they remembered that survivals still exist in the game, and they decided to do a week specifically revolved around survivals, allowing players the opportunity to earn triple money in survivals, well, till May 8th, 2019. And if you complete all 10 waves, you can get $90,000. So a lot of us that prefer PvE over PvP, we're really happy because some of us actually like doing survivals. And it reminded me of an old video I did, one of them, enhancing survivals. So I decided after watching that video a few days ago that I was going to do a remake, reboot sort of video here. And instead of calling it enhancing survivals, we'll call it improving survivals to tie into my unofficial improving series that I've kind of sort of been doing on the channel as of recent. Mostly revolved around Red Dead Online, but I guess we can also make it about Grand Theft Auto Online as well. So, how could we improve survivals? Now, obviously, I have taken a lot of my material from the Enhancing Survivals video. So yes, this is basically a reboot. Fortunately, I think most of you never watched that video, so there's no need to go back and watch it because the audio quality, the video quality wasn't as good as it is now. First off, thank you so much, Rockstar, for finally giving us a survival week. Very much appreciated, and I was surprised that it was triple money because the only other thing that's been triple money is Motor Wars. And we know how Rockstar feels about their Motor Wars. They love Motor Wars. But maybe there's a special place in their heart for survivals as well. But I always felt like that there could be more when it comes to survivals. One thing that I've always had issue with is the fact that as of right now, there's only 9 survivals total in the game. And there's plenty more locations throughout the map of Southern San Andreas where we could have more survivals. Maybe a survival in Grove Street versus the Ballas, up at the Observatory against the FIB, Fort Zancudo against the military, Bolingbroke versus guards or inmates, out in the wilderness, somewhere in the Redwoods, maybe against some hillbillies, Paleto Bay versus sheriff's deputies. Those were the examples that I cited many years ago. But on top of that, I would like, and I know I've mentioned this at least once or twice over the years, a survival creator. So, yes, Rockstar, could you, I don't know, finally get around to giving us a survival creator? Some of us have actually been asking for that. If you're not going to go through the trouble of making us new survivals, then allow the community that enjoys playing survivals in Grand Theft Auto Online the ability to create brand new ones. And they actually did tweak with survivals. I guess they did it along with the Arena Wars update because there's been some changes to the survivals. Now, it used to be that there were a variety of NPC enemy types. For example, up at the sawmill, it used to be hillbillies, even though it's supposed to be ballas if you go by Grand Theft Auto 5 and a mission from the heists. It technically should be the ballas that control the sawmill. But originally, in the survival mode, it was hillbillies. And there's different locations where you had to go up against cops, the Lost MC at the pier, etc. But now, thanks to Rockstar tweaking and quote-unquote fixing something that didn't need to be fixed, all the NPCs on all 9 survival maps are now masked gunmen. I wish Rockstar would just change that shit back because having a variety of different NPC types at every one of these different maps added a little something extra to the map. Instead, now we have these weird masked gunmen. And like I said, I don't really care much about that. Rockstar also did some more tweaking with Boneyard. Now, Boneyard used to be the easiest of the maps in survival, but I guess Rockstar realized that and they decided to make it a little bit more difficult. So they went about tweaking it for whatever rhyme or reason. I thought the maps were fine the way they were. Yeah, there's some easier survival maps for people that just start out in survivals or want to do solo survivals. But if you want a bit more of a challenge, there's more challenging survival maps. So I like the way it was. As the old saying goes, if it ain't broke, don't fix it. But unfortunately, Rockstar decided to tweak with... At the very least, I've noticed Boneyard and all the NPCs. Even though if you go to the description section of the survivals, that hasn't been changed. It still says hillbillies or cops or lost. That's Rockstar for you. But there were some other things that I wanted to see included and improved when it came to survivals. Not to mention the survival creator, which would allow you to create a map almost anywhere. Maybe even create like a platform map similar to the way you can do stunt races against a variety of different enemy types like clowns, Merryweather Mercs, the clones, and juggernauts if you want to be a little bit more challenging from the Doomsday Heist update. So you could just have a wide variety of different types of survivals, each one ranging in the degree of difficulty and ridiculousness, like going up against clowns. That'd be awesome. Especially for people that don't like clowns. Okay, so another thing I wanted them to add many years ago was different achievements in the survivals. And I did the comparison between achievements you get during death matches. But back then, in the enhancing video, I talked about you being rewarded in RP. Fast forward a few years, most of us don't need RP anymore. It's all about the money. So instead of RP rewards, I'm actually improving this one. I want money rewards. And I have different achievements you could get during a match or overall completing all 10 waves of survival. A wave save would mean that you were the last survivor in a wave, because you get up to 4 players to do a survival in. And let's just say all of your teammates get killed, you're the last one standing, and yet somehow you manage to pull it off and you make it through the wave. You should get a bonus, let's say $1,000 bonus for the wave save. Next is a flawless wave. I used to call it flawless victory, but I think Netherrealm would probably sue. Yeah, they probably would. But flawless wave. A player who is not injured during a wave. And I know this would generate some concerns regarding AFK players, but for anyone that actually plays through a wave that doesn't get injured, doesn't lose any health, you would get a $1,000 flawless wave bonus. Big Splash is another achievement. It's for players that get the most kills during a wave. So if you end up with the most kills in a wave, you get a $1,000 wave Big Splash bonus. Next one is worst to first. Now this has happened to a lot of people that play waves in survival. You have a wave where you do terrible. You're at the bottom, right? You got maybe 1 kill if you were lucky. But the following wave, you actually do quite well. And you end up having the most kills. And I think you should be rewarded from going worst to first. So players who get the most kills during a wave, after a wave where they got the least kills, would also get a $1,000 bonus. And finally, Ultimate Survivor. Players who survived all 10 waves without dying. I would consider this to be an additional $5,000 bonus. It would be extra monetary incentive to play survivals, because after this event week is over, it's going to go back to $30,000 max. So enjoy survivals throughout this event week while you can still get $90,000 if you manage to go through all 10 waves. But this would definitely entice more people to play survivals if there was more money to be made through these various quote-unquote achievements in survival. And in the survival creator, I forgot to mention this, along with the ability to create new maps and go up against various enemy NPCs, I would like for us to be able to go past Wave 10. Like, I don't know, we could call it Survival Plus or Survival Extreme. I don't know. And maybe there's like up to like Survival Wave 15 or Survival Wave 20, 25, or Survival Wave 100, where it just becomes more difficult, more ridiculous. You have harder NPCs to deal with, like the clones or the juggernauts, and maybe some of them show up in Akulas or tanks or night sharks or insurgents. It just becomes more difficult, but the further up you can go in the wave, if you can make it to, say, Wave 100, you end up with a ridiculous payout. But at the same time, it's just almost impossible to make it to Wave 100 or Wave 50 or Wave 25 or wherever you want to cap it off at. But it would be cool if we did have like a Survival Plus or Survival Extreme harder survival version that allowed us to have more of a challenge than the standard 10 waves in survivals. Now, yeah, the survivals can be difficult, depending on which map you go with and depending on the teammates you're playing with. But at the same time, I would really like for Rockstar to do some improving to the survivals in Grand Theft Auto Online. What would you like to see Rockstar do with the survivals? Do you love them? Do you hate them? Is there some changes you'd like to see implemented to survivals? Would you like a survival creator map? Feel free and let us know below in the comments section.